Hi, friends. I wanted to go over a strategy with you that you can use if you're interested in identifying people who work at companies that may be your target employers, and you want to do some additional research by talking to people who actually work there and making connections within that organization, people who could help be your advocates when you find that role that you're interested in. So, to do that, let's go straight to LinkedIn. I'm going to share my screen here and pull up the LinkedIn jobs page, which I got to by clicking on the briefcase. And I have pre-populated it with a business analyst search in the Philadelphia area. You'll notice here that I have clicked on a role at OneMain Financial. It's a lead analyst credit strategy, but I'm not even going to go down and read the description. Again, our initial stage is for research, answering the question, do I want to work here? And who could help me answer that question? But people who actually do. Notice here it says 16 school alumni. These are people who went to the University of Maryland because that's where I went to school, and that's the university that's attached to my LinkedIn profile. So if you click on that, LinkedIn will tell you who they are. What I like to do with this list is simply look at the names. Is there anybody you know? Wouldn't that be great? And then look at the titles. Who might be in a role that you'd be interested in or comparable to something you'd like to do? And maybe it's somebody who's a near peer, someone 2 to 3 years ahead of you. Well, this is a great opportunity to find out those names and what they do. And you can always click over to their LinkedIn profile and read a little bit more about them, which I recommend you do. Now, let's say you've identified a name that you think you'd like to talk to. I don't recommend messaging them on LinkedIn because most people tend to ignore their LinkedIn messages. Instead, there is a free email predictor. There are many. The one I use is called hunter.io. Click that out of the way. And what this will do is give you the most common email pattern for the company. And here it is, OneMain Financial. And the most common email pattern for emails is first name dot last name. So if you wanted to reach me at OneMain Financial, you might say sarah.andrus@onemainfinancial.com. Now you have my email. You've identified me and you know how to get in touch with me. But let's say that company you're interested in, the one you've targeted in your community, didn't have a job listing on LinkedIn. What would you do then? Well, for the sake of illustration, let's just say it's OneMain Financial, and maybe they didn't have a job post today, but you want to find out more about them and perhaps identify some people who work there. So I populated this with University of Delaware, people who studied there. And then you can look at the list from here doing exactly the same thing. Do I recognize anybody? Does anybody look like they're doing work I'm interested in? Who is a near peer? You can also look for anybody with a HR or a talent manager or recruitment role. And then using the same strategy, you can email them at firstname.lastname@onemainfinancial.com. And this will work for a company of just about any size in terms of finding an email address and then reaching out to someone. Now, you may be wondering, fine, Sarah, but what do I even say to them? And it's a fair question. The reason why we like to work with alumni and why I'm suggesting you start there is it gives you something to say in the subject line. You can say, fellow Blue Hen, which is University of Delaware mascot, fellow Blue Hen with a question about OneMain Financial. And they're getting this at work, and so they're likely going to see it. And inside the body of the message, you're going to say, hi, Sarah. My name is Joe, and I am thinking about a new career, or I am thinking about making a career change, or I'm researching employers. and One Main Financial is on my radar. And I wondered if you might be open to a quick chat about how you like working there. Then tell them your availability, tell them you'll set up a phone call or a Zoom, whatever they prefer, and send it off. And if you do this to a number of people within an organization with the goal of speaking to 3 to 5 at any company you're seriously interested in, they are going to respond and they're going to be happy to talk to you because, again, you're doing research. You're not saying, hey, do you know about any openings? You're saying, how do I like working there? And what are the skills that really lead to success in this organization? How will my performance be measured? What's the culture like? What would you expect a salary range for this type of role to be? You're asking them questions that show that you care, that you're smart, that you're proactive, and you're building the beginning of a relationship that maybe next week or next month, if they hear of an opening, they're going to think of you. And even better, if you see an opening, you then already have a relationship with that person and you can reach out again and say, hey, thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate your insights. And I just saw this role is open. I wonder if you know anything about it. This is what's working right now, is this combination of application and connection that's so vital to people getting to the interview stage. Give it a try and let me know how you like it.